And welcome back to a dose of Pokemon. If you're new to the channel, hi there. Today I want to talk about how to balance your budget and where to start in 2025. So this may take a little bit as I kind of want to go into detail and explain a lot of information. So if you want to listen to this while you're driving, commuting to work and back, or whether you kind of want to listen to it like a podcast type of thing, that's kind of what I'm intending for in this video. You don't necessarily need to be watching what's on screen, but more so kind of listening and then kind of going on your merry way and choosing what you kind of want to do after taking in this information. And I'm also learning as I go too, and that's why I kind of have this channel here too. So it's not only for you guys to learn information about investing and collecting cards, Pokemon cards in 2025, but also it's kind of teaching me as well. And so I can have a clear idea and sense of how and where to kind of start as well, or for me at least to continue in 2025. So the first thing, and this is the actual most important thing I believe, is having a clear budget. So before you get into Pokemon TCG, before you get into Yu-Gi-Oh, which I also do collect, but not as heavily as the Pokemon TCG, you need to know how much you are willing to invest, how much money you want to put into the Pokemon TCG. Now, this obviously has to be separate from your needs for your essential expenses and your savings and other things as well. Some things can be like, you can consider some factors like a monthly investment cap. So allocate a fixed amount each month. Now, how am I going to know how much like that allocated fixed amount is? That is up to you. You can put 200 down each month, 500 down, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it may be. But do keep in mind a risk tolerance. Only invest money you can afford to lose, because collectibles can fluctuate in value. And that's kind of what I have been taking in with the Pokemon TCG, but also with other investments as well, crypto and stock. I'm trying to invest in amounts that I can afford to lose. So collectibles does kind of have the same idea in a sense. And then long-term versus short-term. Are you collecting for potential profit in 10 plus years, or are you just looking to making a quick buck? For me, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing a long-term goal. I want to build my collection. I love Pokemon, and it's not just like, oh, I'm going to make money from this. And I genuinely love Pokemon itself, which is why I may keep my collection for as long as I live, or I may use it as a profit in 10, 15, 20 plus years, but I am definitely not that short term. I'm not looking to just buy and flip real quick. I'm not those scalpers out there that are going to all the Costco's and picking up entire cases. Those people who are doing that, leave the hobby. I just get really rattled with that type of stuff. Like, if you are going to leave it for others, leave it for people that enjoy the hobby, leave it for people that want to just pick up some cards, open some packs, and build decks and battle with their friends, compete in leagues and things like that. They make it very difficult. Anyway, that's a whole different topic for a whole different video. So you need to know these three things: your investment cap, your monthly, your risk tolerance, and then is a long-term or a short-term goal. For me, my monthly investment usually changes because working, on YouTube, and this is obviously not my main YouTube channel, but working on YouTube and online business, my monthly investment cap does fluctuate and does change. So I work accordingly. And obviously I've taken the risk tolerance and the long term. So sometimes my monthly can be like 200, sometimes it can be 300. So it does change each month, but I made it a goal in 2025 to not kind of have it keep changing, but have a fixed amount, as it says right here, have it a fixed amount and keep it growing. So if it's 200 this month, the following could be 500 and 1,000, so on and so forth, and kind of putting in more and investing. The second thing you gotta do is research the market. You just wanna go in and like buy everything you see on the shelves. That's not really how it works. You really wanna know which products kind of hold on and stick on to, which products are popular, which products retain their value over time. So you gotta understand the current trends. You gotta understand key drivers of value in the Pokemon TCG. Now, there are bunch of different areas you can kind of explore. First, vintage cards. This one I really want to dabble into, but I have not. Base set, jungle, fossil, these are highly valued sets. The cards of them are amazing. First edition cards, if you get them in good condition, they're going to be of higher value. But vintage cards has a higher price. You're going to be paying more for vintage cards. So for me, I want to get into vintage cards one day, but obviously when I have a higher monthly investment cap. So until then, I'm kind of holding back on vintage cards. Modern sets, popular modern sets. Crown Zenith is pretty modern, or yeah, it came out beginning of 2023. Evolving Skies is still considered modern, came out in 2021. Although Evolving Skies is a little bit more difficult to get and the prices have already skyrocketed. They have strong demand. Crown Zenith recently, like the past month, has been getting lots of strong demand. And you can still find it in stores. If you find it at your Target or Walmart, pick it up. There are chase cards like alternate art gold cards that have higher value. You want to know the holographics and the alternate arts and the special illustration rares. You want to know the rarities of these cards because some are higher of value than others. Then there's grading cards. So cards graded PSA, Beckett, CGC, they tend to bring in a higher price for those cards. So once they're graded, they are kind of closed up. They have like a little, like a case covering type of thing, and they kind of hold higher prices. So you can kind of research that and get into grading. Again, those may be a little bit more pricier. I think with this one, the beginner type of thing would be getting into modern sets because they're a little bit more affordable. And then there's special events releases, you know, anniversary sets, collaborations, unique Japanese promos often can gain collector interest. Japanese, that's a good point. You want to kind of keep your eye peeled out on the Japanese market, not just the English TCG, but on the Japanese as well. Anniversary sets, for example, Prismatic Evolutions. It's not an anniversary, but it's a special set, so it's not one of the 4 core main sets that come out each year. It's a special set, so it's not going to have a booster box, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pick up. So you do want to make sure you have an understanding of those sets. Anniversary sets can be, the 25th came out, I think, in 2021. So we're probably looking at 2021 plus another 5, 2026. So probably next year we'll be looking at a 30th anniversary. So get ready. Next year is also going to be a great great year for the Pokemon TCG. Now that's number 2. Number 3, deciding your focus. Again, investing in Pokemon TCG can be in several ways. You want to choose the one that kind of fits your goals. Sealed products is the one that I usually am kind of focused on right now that I talk about with you guys. That's booster boxes, elite trainer boxes, otherwise known as for short ETB, promo collections. They are highly sought after, especially if they're sealed and in good condition. So that's what I usually recommend. If you are starting to collect, I think the most accessible product that is here right now is an elite trainer box. Booster boxes you're not going to find in stores. Elite trainer boxes you will. $49.99. You can pick up an elite trainer box, keep it sealed. They tend to hold their value and increase in price over time. I have a couple elite trainer boxes that are in the 200 right now. I picked them up for 30, 40 bucks way back. So they definitely go up in price. Booster boxes are not as easy to find, but that's like, you won't find them at like a Target or a Walmart. You're gonna have to go online and pick those up. And then promo collections, special collections, premium collections, those can also kind of have higher value, especially if you keep them sealed over time. That's one way you can kind of invest. You can invest in graded cards. Some people just have a graded card collection of PSA 9s, PSA 10s, like the Charizards, like the Blastoise and the Venusaur, like the Umbreon VMAX, the Moonbreon from Evolving Skies, or just, you know, other ones like Terrestrial Festival, Umbreon EX graded type of thing. So graded cards is another focus in the Pokemon TCG. Something, again, I have not yet gotten into. I don't have any graded cards, but I hope to one day. once I'm able to grow my budget. Then there's raw cards. You can buy ungraded cards at a discount, so you don't need to kind of go and buy a box, open it up, and try to pull each card from those packs. It's going to be very difficult, and you're going to spend a lot of money to try to pull every card from the set, whereas you can just go buy ungraded cards separately, maybe get them at a discount. You can grade them yourself, send them afterwards to PSA or Beckett or whatever grading company, and then they can do it for you that way. You can be profitable in that regards if done carefully as well. And then there's also specialized areas. There's different unique niches like Japanese exclusives, misprints. I've seen a lot of people collecting just misprints. Those tend to have higher value. Certain Pokemon themes, sometimes Charizard cards. Charizard is a very common card that's always printed. It's always sought after. It holds high demand. The Umbreon, that's why Prismatic Evolutions Terrestrial Festival is in high demand. The Evolutions, they're really sought after, set and Pokemon in general. So you can kind of specialize in those areas. For me, I'm pretty much doing mainly sealed products, but sometimes I like to do Pokemon themes, getting more into it, whether that be just, with cards or with, figurines and things like that. So you got to know what your focus is. Again, for me, my main focus is sealed products. And also with the sealed products comes a place to store them too. So you got to figure that out as well. Now, balancing your budget is sometimes it's difficult because you may run into some issues here and there. And I kind of ran into an issue yesterday at the time of this recording. I'll share that with you guys in a moment. But to ensure your investment doesn't disrupt your financial stability, you want to kind of use the 70-20-10 rule. 70% of your core investments. Allocate most of your budget to reliable items like sealed products or graded cards from proven sets. Let's focus on sealed products. 20% of growth potential. Reserve a portion for riskier investments such as new sets or ungraded raw cards that you plan to grade. And then 10% risk bets. Use a small part of your budget to speculative buys like unique promos or cards from less popular sets. Again, these are high risk, so you want to put in however much you are willing to lose. Avoid over leveraging. Use disposable income, not borrowed funds, and then keep part of your budget for unforeseen costs such as grading fees is getting late or market drops. And also make sure that you avoid FOMO, the fear of missing out. And that's where I want to share a story. And good thing I didn't have the fear of missing out. But I went to my local Target, nothing on the shelves. And right at that moment, a gentleman came up to me and he asked me if I needed any assistance, any help. And I was like, no, I'm just browsing. He's like, well, I am the Pokemon rep. And he opened up a case of Silver Tempest. He had 2 boxes with him. I didn't see what was under the second box because he didn't open that up yet. But he's like, yeah, I got a box here of Silver Tempest. Would you like one? I'm like, no, I already have a Silver Tempest Elite Trainer box. I'm not looking for that. And he's like, I also have Pokemon Scarlet 151 Elite Trainer boxes. I was like, ooh, that's a tough one. Like that's a buy. That is a buy, but I ultimately declined. I said, no, I already have one of that, and it's not in my budget right now. And even though I could have bought it for $50 and the market price right now is probably like $150, it was not in my budget. I didn't want to put in any extra for what I have for this month. So I politely declined and moved on and left the store afterwards. So try to avoid the fear of missing out, because most times if you miss out, you're going to come across other opportunities. And I've been lucky to and fortunate to come across other great opportunities that I haven't missed out on. So that brings me to where to start. So just some beginner-friendly options. And if you want to kind of save this and screenshot, you can do that as well. Buying sealed products. Look, ETBs are, I think, the best bang for your buck. You're getting pretty decent amount of packs, a pretty sought-after kind of collection box. Especially when that set stops getting printed and the print cycle runs out. The print cycle runs out, and it's not being sold in stores anymore. Those often grow in value once out of print consider Japanese. This is something I've recently been getting into, which often feature unique artwork. And you get them in English artwork, English as well, but again, great artwork, and they have lower print runs. Graded cards, again, something I personally want to get into. You can, pick up Pokemon cards like the Charizard, Pikachu, Umbreon, which is that Evolving Skies Umbreon. Look for undervalued cards in auctions, smaller marketplaces. These are things that, for me at least, I have not gotten into, that I also can kind of follow from this guide. Then there's online marketplaces, eBay, ideal for both raw and graded cards. Look for trusted sellers. That one, you kind of have to look at the trusted sellers, see their reviews, see how many stars they have, see how many people left reviews, and how many are positive, how many are not positive, and all that good stuff. But there are a decent amount of trusted eBay sellers. You also want to make sure that they are selling real, genuine products and they're not trying to scam you. Some people just sell fake products, and it's unfortunate that we see people doing that, but looking to make a quick buck, unfortunately. TCG Player is a site that I use all the time to track market prices, to see what's going on. Like, the TCG Player kind of becomes your best friend when you are Pokemon card collecting. At least for me, it's become a site that I'm using every single day. Then you can go to local hobby shops. They sometimes offer deals. I personally have not come across any local hobby shops of mine that have offered good deals. They've always been above market value, or not above market value, but above MSRP, which I'm not gonna, I don't have the budget for. I would love to, but unfortunately, as of right now, I don't. But hopefully, as the budget grows, I want to go to my local hobby shops and game stores, LGS, and even if it's like extra 5, 10, 15 bucks, pick up that product and support my local game stores. And then community engagement. You got to join forums, social media groups, stay updated on trends. For me, I use X, and I follow some like Pokemon deals and restock news pages, just to make sure that if I miss a deal or if I don't see one on time because of that post on X, I'm able to see it. After all of this, you want to monitor and reassess. You want to track the value of your collection regularly. I use a tool. It's an app called Collector. And with Collector, you can essentially have all of your product. It's like stocks, but for cards. Collector. So here it is. It's an advanced portfolio tracking app for your cards. And it's not just Pokemon 2. You can collect for other things as well. It uses marketplaces like Card Market and TCG Player. There are a lot of people that use Collector. And again, you can use it for Yu-Gi-Oh! You can use it for Pokemon. You can use it for other collect, track, profit. That's what I've been using since June of 2024, tracking my collection. Again, or you can use, eBay sold listings, marketplace for graded cards like the PSA database. You can use TCG Player Price Guide, but Collector has just been an easy one on the go, especially. I get to see it's literally like a stock portfolio app, but just for cards and collecting. And then final tips, just kind of wrapping things up. And one more thing I want to add to the end. Stay patient. It's a long-term game. Like I started slowly collecting in 2019, and I really started getting more serious like mid 2024. But up until for those 4.5, 5 years, I was still collecting over time and building my collection. But now I've gotten more serious and kind of doing more research and making sure I find the absolute best deal, and I'm holding on to it, and I'm tracking my budget more than ever before. So I've been patient, and I know over time it's going to keep growing. It's been a pretty decent time since I last purchased some cards. I'm not buying cards every single day, and my collection is like growing. It looks like it's stocks. It's one day I wake up and it's $100 increase in price. Sometimes it's $10 increase in price. You want to avoid panic selling during dips because sometimes, again, it happens like stocks and it happens like crypto. There may be some dips, but I've come to unfortunately do that at the beginning of the pandemic. I panic sold an Umbreon GX from Hidden Fates, which is actually, I think, the second most. Let's see, the Hidden Fate, second most expensive card. The Shiny Vault, yeah. Right now, look at this. The market price for this Charizard is going for like $460. Crazy. But let's go to the Shiny Vault. It hurts. It hurts to know I had this card and I sold it for 30 bucks. It's now at 160. At one point it was at 170. It hit a high of like 170. Oh my goodness. I had this card too, and I can't believe I sold it. That's unfortunate of me, but I've kept my other ones. Like I think I had this Mewtwo, which is sitting at 48. I don't even know. I think I might have sold this Gardevoir. I have it, but these are I have two of these Alolan Ninetales. I have a Ho-Oh. Yeah, I had a good amount. I have this. I think I still have Tapu Koko. But man, I fell into that. I fell into that of panic selling, and that's something I've avoided since. Diversify. Don't put all your funds into one card, one product, one set. You know that there's 4 main sets coming out every single year. Each one's going to come with an ETB, and there's usually 1 to 2 special sets that come out each year, and those will also have an ETB. So that's 6 ETBs. Then put in 4 booster boxes. And then figure out your budget or what else whatever it is, if you can put in extra. And then diversify. Just don't invest into one single product. Obviously, starting off, if your budget requires like 50 bucks a month, yeah, you want to get ETBs. But once your budget continues to grow, then you want to kind of add more product lineups of Pokemon cards into your collection. Staying educated is an important thing. You got to keep up with the Pokemon TCG news. There's news all the time. Like, it's not going to end. And hopefully I will continue to update you guys with new Pokemon TCG news here, new set releases, updates, regarding Pokemon in general. Just sharing information about investing, card collecting here, card collecting in the hobby, and all that good stuff. And then you got to remember, you got to start with a clear plan. A disciplined approach, and hopefully you'll succeed in Pokemon card collecting and Pokemon TCG investing. One more thing that I do want to add to this, it's not card collecting, but I do other collecting as well. Like I collect Hot Wheels and Matchboxes. Particularly I'm collecting like electric vehicle models, but I do have some non-electric vehicles. I also do collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but that's not too serious. I also do collect sealed products of like Pokemon. I have a Pokemon Nintendo Switch Lite sealed. I have a Nintendo 2DS Pokemon Pokeball themed sealed. I have the PlayStation 5 30th anniversary controller sealed. So I have a couple products sealed that I do plan on keeping sealed, and that's something you can do this Pokemon theme too. So if, let's say the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out this year and they make a Pokemon theme, I actually plan on buying that and keeping it sealed if I can. Those things usually sell out very, very quick. So that's one of my goals, to buy it and keep it sealed. And then I'll, have another Switch 2 to use on the daily. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys want me to, share just this kind of information, these bullet points of how to balance your budget, where to start. Again, I don't want to tell anyone how much, give them a fixed amount, because they know their budget better than anyone else. So I can't tell you, hey, start with 200 a month, start with 300. If you have 50 bucks, you can get an ETB. If you have 30 bucks, you can get a booster bundle. If you have 20 bucks, you can get a 3-pack. If your budget is $10, you can still get like 2 packs of cards. And that will add up over time. And then your budget grows, you work harder, your budget grows. and you'll get more cards. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's make our way to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we're almost there. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 4,000 watch hours. Obviously, what I plan on doing with this, and I want to share with you guys too, is getting the channel monetized and taking what I make from here and investing it back into the channel, so I can give you guys better content and share more information, and showcase more cards here on the channel too, and obviously grow the collection. And that will also help me continue to grow my collection and share more of my experience with you guys. But I hope you guys did enjoy. I think I already said that a bunch of times. My apologies. For me, it's late at night. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.